All right. Hey, welcome everybody. It's 7 o'clock Wednesday night. Sci-Fi Distilled. Welcome back, Mary Beth.
Hello.
How are you this fine Wednesday?
I'm excellent. My part of the country is under like a tropical storm watch or something from Lee. Lee's churning up the coast, and I guess we're gonna get pummeled. I guess
this weekend, it's supposed to be up here or something. I don't know.
Just a little rain.
Yeah, I don't think it's supposed to be hugely impactful.
I don't think so either.
Anyway, if anybody's in the path of that, please be safe. I don't think there is. I think it's mostly out to sea. So this week was by suggestion. Now, who was it that suggested this?
Oh, Chris LaRoche.
Chris LaRoche, I thought so. Guilty pleasures, as we call it. So these are movies, TV shows, whatever, that maybe aren't the most popular. Although I kind of went, my list is even popular.
Or it could go either way. It could be the ones that everyone hates that you love, or it could be your comfort food, your go-to.
Right. That's the way I look. That's the way I kind of looked at it. Yeah. Stuff that you'll always return to.
So we'll take either answer. There are no wrong answers tonight.
Right.
Tell us.
So we look at the comments here. Martin, how are you? Jeff, Bill, Jerry, thank you for joining us. So we do have a drink. Do we want to do that first, or we want to do news?
I got a little bit of news.
Let's do news.
And we have many 3-minute reviews to do tonight.
Yes, so. we have 3.
Bill saying, is Sci-Fi Distilled our guilty pleasure? Sci-Fi Distilled might be our
guilty pleasure. Well, it can be. Does that mean we suck and that's nobody else likes us?
We suck. Everybody hates us. Nobody watches. But you valiant people, you tune in week after week.
That's true. We do have our faithful. Thank you for being.
We have our faithful.
So, yeah. All right. News. Go ahead.
News. Shoot. All right. Let me fly through the news because we don't, oh, guys. Hello. Happy Breakaway Day.
That's right.
I'm sure you all remember very clearly September 13th, 1999, I want to say nuclear explosion on the moon.
It was, yes.
Orbit and careen off.
It was all the waste they put on one side of the moon.
That's right. It was the nuclear waste.
It was very poorly designed system.
That was poor engineering.
And then, but it gave the moon warp drive.
But it gave the moon warp drive.
I know the Space 1999 fans are going, no, that's not how it worked.
Space 99 is coming up on its 50th. It's either next year or the year after. So we need to get with Roy and see what the
they're doing the big thing with the Eagle Has Landed documentary.
Yes.
Kickstarter and all that. So there's stuff going on. We all love the Eagles though. So
we do. And I can put that Eagle that documentary Kickstarter link up if you guys are interested. Tuesday, September 19th, Talk Like a Pirate Day. That's good. September 10th, the X-Files celebrated its 30th. I feel like the X-Files needs an X-Files Day.
Right?
They don't have one. Until we get an X-Files Day. With a We Believe. I want to believe day.
I want to believe day.
Yeah. Until we get an X-Files Day, please go to that X-Files Preservation Collection in Saratoga Springs. They are pretty cool. Here's some good news, guys. Batman Day is Saturday, September 16th. It is Batman Day because that is the day that commemorates the superhero's first appearance in Detective Comics in 1939. Batman Day is going to be celebrated worldwide. Fans can purchase new releases. I'm sorry, that's a lie. Re-releases of some of his best comics at participating dealers. Christopher Nolan's Batman trilogy, now that's Batman Begins, The Dark Knight, and The Dark Knight Rises. Those will be playing in select theaters around the country. HBO Max has a huge, robust selection of Batman stuff, and there's so much more. Cartoon Network, TNT, TBS. Oh, and of course, merch. Amazon has merch all month long, and DC Shop will have merches too. But here's the cool part. This is an international celebration with over 25 countries participating. They're airing Batman content, and they're having live in-person events and exhibitions. And I gotta say, I am really impressed with what other countries are doing. Like other countries, like local breweries, restaurants, candy makers, they're all getting in on the act. Clothing makers, artists, toy makers, getting in on the Batman thing for their events. Even New Zealand is minting a commemorative gold and silver coin for Batman Day. So I don't see that kind of stuff going on for Star Trek, unless I just don't hear about it or something. But I was just really, really impressed with the worldwide participation. And side note, Tim Burton's first Batman movie, the one with Keaton and Nicholson and Basinger, that's a guilty pleasure for me. That's one of my guilty pleasures. I love that movie.
I do quote that one line all the time.
This town
needs an enema.
This town needs an enema. We all survived Star Trek Day. In the wake of Star Trek Day, the website CBR.com has declared that of all the science fiction out there, Star Trek uses shields and deflector screens the best.
Okay.
I don't want to get into a bit of a dive.
I'm curious what the viewership was on Star Trek Day.
I am too.
With regards to the two strikes.
I was really surprised, like that it was only like, I don't know if you guys caught the thing with Jerry O'Connell. It was only like half an hour.
I didn't see it at all because
you didn't miss much. It was only half an hour.
Yeah. So
yeah. And I watched that new short. What is going on? Did anybody else watch one of the new shorts that they're releasing? What is happening with that?
On Prime? I mean, not Prime. No. Is it on Paramount Plus?
No, it's on StarTrek.com and YouTube.
Oh, okay.
It's just this little animated thing. It was weird, guys. It was
weird.
So weird. All right, moving on. Another MCU release update. Everything's been pushed back again. Why? Strike. Whatever. Strike. Arcane season 2 pushed back. Strike. Outlander season 8 pushed back. Strike. I'm not even sure they're going to do the second half of season 7. I don't know what's going on. Despite the strike and the delays caused by it, work that has already been completed is being churned out as best as they can. Here are the following sci-fi movies from now until Christmas. Look for the following. No One Will Save You. Relax. I'm from the future. Unidentified. The Creator.
I'm sorry.
What was that? 57 seconds.
That was my lightsaber.
Oh, Lord. The Marvels. Hunger Games, Poor Things, -1, Rebel Moon Part 1, The Shift, and Mothership. All of those are coming out. I've talked about some of them already. I will talk about more as they come up. But that is the news for tonight. So what's probably going to happen now, guys, is Rizzo's going to put up a banner and a countdown.
And which one are we doing first? We doing Ahsoka or are we doing?
We should probably do Ahsoka first, and then we'll do the 2 lower decks, which I thought were.
Let me put. Hold on.
No Dune 2, Bill. It's Dune 2 has been pushed back. Why? Strike. Okay, go ahead.
All right, let me start the counter again because we were talking about something.
Oh, because I hammered over the counter.
That's all right. I was still getting it squared away. Okay, so things are starting to heat up. Our antagonists have traveled to the new galaxy looking for Thrawn. Now we've left on the planet. Of course, we know Sabine went with him, or them, I should say. And now we've got Ahsoka left on the planet. Of course, the robot realized he was right all along there that they should have never separated.
They should not split up.
Never separated, of course. And so the rest of the episode is kind of them repairing the ship and then dealing with.
And searching for Ahsoka.
Well, yeah, once Ahsoka, right. And Ahsoka and Anakin, of course, have their ethereal conversation.
Yes.
And basically, I think also Hera has to go back and kind of back to the rebel and kind of answer for her leaving.
Mothma says, "Hey guys, you went out without permission. You need to get back here." Interestingly, she says Senator Organa can only cover for you so long, which is a nice little name drop there.
Right.
But yeah, they're out there looking for Sabine and Ahsoka. Sabine, of course, is long gone, but they do find her.
So then they do pull another. I don't know if it's really called an Easter egg, but another reference from. I think it was from Rebels with the space whales.
Yeah.
I want to say that was in Rebels, the space whales.
Yeah, Virgil space whales. They took Ezra.
The space whales apparently can travel faster than light.
Yes, the space whales can go from one system to another, like a whole.
Right, they can cross the void, so to speak.
Intergalactic.
So ultimately, they go and find the space whales, which just happen to be hanging out at this planet. And Ahsoka kind of does the these are not the droids you're looking for thing,
Yes.
and gets them to take the ship in the mouth like
You know,
Jonah.
the whale's like, yeah,
Like
hop in.
Jonah and the whale goes right in there. The ship, her Ahsoka ship, lands inside the mouth, and which is kind of also reminiscent of Empire with the giant worm, space worm thing.
Yeah.
Millennium Falcon. Anyway,
But yeah, so
And-
yeah, finally we're getting somewhere, and we only
yeah.
got
So they take off. So
for
boom,
2
they
episodes left.
yeah. That's how
And
they
didn't I
end.
tell you once I like they're gonna save Thrawn to the last
Yeah,
episode.
no, it's
They're
good. It's
saving
really-
Thrawn for the last
Of
episode.
course they are. We're not going to see him till the very end, and that's just
Why did they
aggravating
use
as hell.
him?
so. Yeah, I was really so. It's kind of good. It's still kind of a little. It's still. I still say it
Looked up a
could
little.
be tightened up.
It was good to
But
see
still,
Rex.
there's a
Like,
lot of dead
Yeah.
air, so to
Yeah.
speak, in the show.
it's
I don't
getting
know
better.
why.
The whole scene with Anakin and Ahsoka in the world between worlds were excellent. I thought those moved right along.
Yeah, it was interesting, and of course they de-aged Anakin, so he looked like he was.
And they de-aged Anakin. Oh, and then they recast Ahsoka altogether and used a younger girl for her.
Yes, in the dream sequence. Okay, that's
Super quick before we move on, Alex. Batman Saturday's Batman Day. Batman stuff going on worldwide. I'm certain Canada's doing some Batman stuff too. That's why I am Batman. So we're all going to go to the movies. We're going to rewatch the Batman trilogies. We're going to watch one of my guilty pleasures, which was Tim Burton's first Batman. That's why I'm Batman. Okay, moving on to Lower Decks.
Hang on, let me switch this out. All right, you ready?
Ready?
So we're doing both episodes, right?
In 1 3 minute? Or are we going to do 3 minutes?
We can do it. We'll do two. What the hell? You ready?
I don't know what's happening. Okay.
So the first episode of Lower Deck season 4, which was called, now I already lost the name of it, but it was basically
It wasn't I have no bones. Yeah, mine was.
No, that was the
it
second one.
That's the second one. It was Oh, it was right in my head. What was the first episode of Lower Decks?
We're
You
so
guys?
organized here. I forgot what
You're
the
so
first
organized.
episode.
It was such a good.
Well, they get
episode, too.
promoted.
I
They're all
loved it.
getting promoted to lieutenant.
Oh yes, they're all
Lieutenant
getting promoted.
JG.
Yeah.
So of course there's a whole thing and where
Oh,
Boimler gets word that he's
Tuvix.
going to get
Tuvix.
promoted.
That's what it was called. Or-
Right, it was the Tuvix one, right. It was a whole thing, spoof on Voyager and the Tuvix episode. Of course, it goes completely out of hand and a
It
bunch
goes
of people get
completely out of
Tuvix.
hand.
And of course, they keep saying what a lot of fans is saying was that Janeway murdered Tuvix.
Yes, they
A
finally addressed the elephant in the room. Janeway straight up, and they said it in these words, straight up murdered him.
Yeah. Janeway
In
murdered
those
him.
words. and then there's what's his name? Shaq sitting there going, damn, she didn't mess around. It was so good.
So of course,
And then-
so then the guy that has been Tuvixed, as they called it, which was the chief engineer, and the doctor get
Yeah.
together, and they of course he gets wind that he thinks, because he looks it up and found out that Janeway killed, basically, so he didn't want to die, so he
She's like,
started
he's like, hell
basically
no.
creating more Tuvixes.
Yeah.
So,
But they do an interesting little ethics, like sidestep the ethics of it, because what they do is they mushed everyone together, like
everybody
more than
became
one
one
person.
giant one. Yeah,
And Tendi was like, well, now that it's just one big amorphous blob, I don't care. We can rip them all apart. It doesn't matter.
right. Yeah. Although I never really thought of it that when. I mean, I know a lot of people thought that Janeway murdered him, whatever. But in the same token, the other people had their option to live as well. I suppose as
Taken
individuals.
away from them. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's a fascinating ethics-wise, it's a fascinating episode. The Voyager episode is fascinating. This was
Right.
a little more tongue-in-cheek.
Yes, absolutely, and of course, well, it should be. It's Lower Decks,
And Lower Decks.
so.
But I loved it. I thought.
Yeah,
it
was a good first episode. Of course, at the end, they all get their pips.
They all get promoted except for Rutherford.
Except Rutherford, for some reason, does not get promoted to Lieutenant JG. So they're moving out. So they're moving out of the lower decks at the end of the
Yes.
episode. They're
Yes.
leaving those bunks behind.
Yes, they're trying to find. Yeah.
So
So it's
I
the
don't know
next
what else-
episode. This carries on to the next episode. Yeah.
all right.
The other little side note is that the Klingons getting destroyed by the mysterious ship.
Right. We don't know what's going on.
We don't know what that is.
actually, which that shows up in. I'm going to start the thing. Which
Yes.
shows up in
Restart the
second
countdown so we can
episode
do
is
I
the
have no
earphones,
bones,
so
but I must flee.
I must flee. So we're going to start the timer here again. Start the timer.
Yeah, so this one opens with the Romulans getting killed.
Romulans getting blown up, right?
And we still don't know what that's about.
We don't know what that's about. So now we're so Boimler is going to get his new quarters, and I'm sorry, but I flashed Seinfeld when he walked in.
Me too. He sees
it was like it was the sign. It was the Kenny Rogers roaster sign. The red burning it. So, but it was the nacelle. It was the.
And wasn't there something else where someone comes in and they were like, and I was like, oh, that's like Newman. There was something else. I flashed on Seinfeld like twice in that episode. But
yeah, and then of course he gets he gets new quarters, and it's right between two holodecks, so he can hear the security chief and the doctor going at it in one, and then somebody is like who puts a cabin between two holodecks? So the overall story with this one is they have to go and get some humans.
They're going to free humans from a menagerie.
Yeah, from a menagerie, and of course they all think that now Mariner is trying to get demoted because she already thinks that what's his name's going to demote her, the first officer there. I'm terrible with the names here.
It's Ransom.
Yeah. But actually, what he did, he's not going to do that. So of course she's acting like a complete idiot. And then she lets out. Well, they thought she let out the little whatever it was.
No, whoopsie.
Which attacks and sucks all the bone out of your body.
Sucks your bones out, yeah.
Yes. Apparently, the plant guy that ran the ship also had bones.
Yeah, I noticed that. Whoopsie ate him too.
They did say that. Well, he had bones, so he didn't let him out. So anyway, it was kind of a funny episode. Again, it was kind of them not wanting to separate, and then poor Rutherford was trying to get promoted so that he could join them, and
that other guy kept
one-upping him. And then, so that was pretty good. Overall, these have been for two pretty solid episodes from them, I got to say.
Yeah, they came out strong.
This one had a lot of references for stuff. The one scene with the exercising with Ransom and the guy exercising, and they're in the Troy and
they're in the Troy and Crusher outfits.
Leotard working out.
Or whatever.
Oh my God, there's already been memes about that thing. That was hysterical. And then the reference of let's go get some chocolate sundaes after this. Ooh, it's a cheat day. I'm sorry, but this show is just, some of the references are hysterical.
Yeah.
And
there were a lot of, in the menagerie, there were a lot of references. I did not catch them all, but there were a ton.
Yeah, there was more. There was definitely more in the second episode than there was in the first one. But as you know, the show is made for Star Trek fans of all ilk, so to speak.
Yes.
So. All right, that's that. So we should be able to catch up. So we should only have to do two next week. I'm telling you, Ahsoka at 9:00 is killing me.
Yeah, honestly, I watch it today. I watch it on Wednesdays before.
I know. I really.
While you're getting the drink, I want to show off this. I just got this. This is one of my guilty pleasures. I don't know if you guys can see who everyone is. If you guys can see and recognize.
Oh yeah, I know that. Yeah, that's Battle of the Planets.
Yep, Battle of the Planets. So this is one of my guilty pleasures. You can get the drink up. I'm just showing this off. In the little box.
The drink.
Yeah, here we go. Let people look at stuff while you're talking about the drink. And this is going up on my wall. If you guys ever want like a room tour, I could film a room tour and you can see all my crap.
I would do that, but my room's
You've got a ton of stuff. I do, but
it's a mess at the moment. See, this is my new. You guys really can't see it. This is what I got in Ottawa.
Ah, yes.
Here, Ezra Bridger's lightsaber. It's all metal. It's very nice.
He has like a hilt guard. I love
it. It's like a gun. See, it fires that. Remember, he had the first one had like a pistol, and then it also turned into a lightsaber.
That's right.
Very cool. Very cool. So that was my big purchase in Ottawa Comic-Con. So here's our drink, Guilty Pleasure. Yes, Ken, it does come with a purse, in case you're wondering.
That's why it's a guilty pleasure.
That's why it's a guilty pleasure, I guess. So anyway, this looks actually not a bad one if you're looking for a nice free drink. I don't think I would put the egg white in it. I don't think egg white belongs in anybody's drink. But hell, if that's true too.
What is the function of the egg white? Like, why?
I'm not really sure. It may just give it some kind of a
body or something.
Yeah, and I'm not really sure. Honestly, I don't know. So if anybody knows why you would put egg white in a drink, give it some protein. I don't know. Do not know, but it matched the theme of tonight. So yes. So all right. Anyway, guilty pleasures. That's it. We're caught up, right?
We are caught up.
So what are your? I
20 minutes.
don't know how you want to do this. You want to do this like one at a time?
Do you want to do it like TV and then movies, or?
Yeah. See, like I also have stuff on here that's not sci-fi. So
I do too. Like Rocky. No, Rocky Horror is
Yeah.
kind of sci-fi. What was my other one that's not sci-fi? I've got all kinds of weird stuff on here. Oh, The Replacements. Okay, I'll go first. You guys know that movie? It's got Keanu Reeves. It's a football movie. It's called The Replacements. It's a comedy. That's a guilty pleasure. I watch that thing every year at Super Bowl. I love that movie. It's so funny. Maybe you should try scrambling. Like
I've never seen it.
when I'm watching football, I quote the movie at the players on the screen.
Yeah.
Anybody? Am I alone in this? This is
Yeah.
a true guilty pleasure. Nobody knows this movie.
I've never seen it.
That's
So
a guilty pleasure. Nobody knows this movie. Nobody's
I
seen
don't
it.
know. I know I'm
love
aware
it.
of it. I remember it, but I didn't see it.
It's so funny and so quotable. And yeah, I watch it every year at Super Bowl time just to, Bruce says not a bad movie. Yeah,
Not a bad movie.
Having a little
Well,
snacky
I mean,
food.
that's why it's a
It's
guilty
about a good
pleasure.
cooked
It's not a top.
Alex loves The Replacements. I knew I loved that girl. Rizzo,
Well, there you go.
we need to make next time we do a non-sci-fi night. I'm gonna make you watch The Replacements just to see what you
Okay.
heart. Miles and miles of heart. That like I say that all the time.
Yeah. So, well, for me, I think for guilty pleasures or stuff that I just like will go to with movies. First of all, just about any of the original James Bond, Sean Connery films. It's kind of as broad. Any of those I'll watch. Just because I grew up watching those, like there was always like the ABC movie of the week kind of thing, Sunday night movie or Monday night movie. They always ran those seemed to always run those. So I got used to watching them. Plus there's a certain nostalgia to them, even though they're very dated and not very PC in many ways. But I mean, they're just cool and I love them. So, they are what they are.
They are what they are. Yeah.
So they're kind of sci-fi, especially when you get to some of the more bizarre villains.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Some of the stuff they do, it's quasi sci-fi.
So,
Martin Ben says his non-sci-fi is Much Ado About Nothing. Yeah, I'll sit down and watch Sense and Sensibility sometimes. Like some.
Well, yeah. I mean, another one I put down is like Ocean's 11.
Ocean's 11 is a
great
one.
movie. It's certainly not a bad movie by any means.
Original
One of
or
those
the Clooney
movies.
remake?
The remake. The
Clooney remake. It's great.
Sondheim one. Is it Sondheim?
And Brad, what's his name, is eating in every single scene.
Yeah. Brad Pitt. That was a thing. And if you watch the movie and you have the DVD, watch it with the commentary because it's like with Clooney. I think Clooney's in there. I think Brad Pitt's in there. I think they have the director. And that's one of the things they mention, that he's always eating, and they don't even know why. They just decided to do it.
He's eating.
They just decided that every scene Rusty would be eating something. So that was kind of, but it's just such a good movie with the music and everything, and
the music makes it.
I don't know why. It's one of those.
It's
one
funny.
Of those films I talk about that whenever it's on, I'll pick it up and watch it, and that really almost goes for all three of the new Ocean movies.
Yeah,
even 12 and 13. 13 is better than 12.
You're like going, how the hell are they gonna pull this off?
Yeah,
and then they pull it off.
Funny, Even I didn't even like 12 initially, but after I rewatched it, I'm like, it has merit. So, anyway, that was one of my.
Martin says Galaxy Quest is one of his. Chris LaRoche says The Great Race. Yeah, that's a good one.
That's an oldie, but yeah.
Who says The Final Countdown? We did that one on this show, just kind of quasi recently, I guess. The Final Countdown.
Yeah, we did it. Yeah, we did it with when was it? We didn't do not too long ago.
Not too long ago. So in the year 2023.
We did when we were doing time travel stuff, weren't we?
Yeah, time travel, yes.
Yeah.
Bill Sotek says most Bruce Willis movies. Yeah. Like Fifth Element. Like anytime Fifth Element's on,
Fifth Element's one of those ones. There's so many, but I try to pick out stuff that wasn't a super mainstream. I guess I don't know, but there's still always movies.
I try to avoid. Yeah. All right, let me get my list. Okay, so now that should I do like sci-fi ones? Should I do TV or should I do?
What's a TV? Give me a TV example for you.
So a TV. So aliens have had their moment on TV for a while, and everyone loves the X-Files. There have been, Dark Skies. There have been a number of alien ones, but one that no one ever talks about is this thing called Falling Skies. It starred Noah Wyle and some other people, and it was another one of these post-apocalyptic. The aliens have come and destroyed the planet, and now we have to march overland to save ourselves. Kind of shows. It was so good. And Doug Jones, who plays Saru on Discovery, he played their alien that they end up making friends with. Yeah, it was just so good, and no one has ever heard of this show ever. Like, no one ever.
I remember it. I do.
And that's it. See, you're just like, yeah, I remember it.
I don't remember it being. I don't remember it being particularly notable.
It wasn't particularly notable, and yet I was just I was like, oh, I gotta find out what's happening. What are they doing? Where are they going? And there was a guy named Colin Cunningham, who actually did. No, maybe he didn't. I don't know.
Bruce
There's an actor named Colin Cunningham.
Life.
No.
Who
has been in I feel like he's done Star Trek for some reason, but I don't know why. It's in the back of my head. I just don't know what it is.
F Troop. I remember that, Chris, when I was a kid. I bet you that's not very PC by today's standards.
Probably not.
Probably not.
Another one. Do I like? So right now, a guilty pleasure that I'm watching right now, Wheel of Time. Is anybody else watching Wheel of Time? I think
that's the one on Prime. You know, that just didn't look very interesting.
It's not. It's as bad as the books, and yet now I have to find out what happens.
It's as bad as
I'm invested. I'm invested. I have to watch this. It's a guilty pleasure.
Well, if that's what you like, I mean, I guess it's kind of like when I watched what's that horrible one on Netflix that I've always given a hard time about, the one with Sackhoff.
Oh yeah, the German
something life or whatever the heck it was. It was terrible,
and it got canceled. Yeah,
it got canceled after season 2. I can't believe it got that far. I would have canceled it after episode 2.
If you want this kind of adventure, like stuff, watch Game of Thrones, watch The Witcher. The Witcher is infinitely better than Wheel of Time, and yet here I am.
Oh yeah, and so there was another one called what was it on? I think it wasn't on Prime. I think it might have been Netflix. Something in Bone. It was along that same kind of fantasy. Somebody help me out. But it was actually pretty good. It was only two seasons, but it kind of wrapped into two seasons. Yeah.
Jeff is
reminding me that Bill Kotak says Space 1999. You guys are like broken record.
No. But Jeff is reminding that Colin Cunningham did Stargate SG-1. Yes, he did. Bruce is saying the real Ghostbusters and Men in Black. You mean the animated shows? Those were fun. Those were super fun. Chris says the Dresden Files. You know what else is a guilty pleasure for me that I watch? It's not on anymore, but I used to catch it every now and again. Did you guys remember a show? It's same guy, Noah Wyle again. The Librarian.
Librarians.
Who's the Librarians? I don't remember even the name of the show.
Yeah.
And then another guilty pleasure. I'll just rattle off all my TV guilty pleasures. Do you guys remember when vampires were having a moment there and everyone was like, "Ooh, True Blood," and like there were a bunch of them? Moonlight. Does anybody remember Moonlight? It was kind of a.
No, I remember Moonlighting.
No, not Moonlight. Not Bruce.
I know not Bruce Willis.
It's called Moonlight. It was a vampire, but it was like a romantical vampire. Speaking of romantical movies, TV shows, this is a huge guilty pleasure for men everywhere. And men, there's no need to be ashamed. If you like this show, don't be ashamed. Put your hand up very proudly and say, yes, I like this show. Outlander. This is for women. This is a girly girl show, lovey-dovey, kissy-kissy, softcore porn for women. And men everywhere are like, get me some of that.
Nope.
That's a true guilty pleasure.
All right, so for TV,
you're not even going to comment on it. You're just like,
no, because I don't know anything about it, and it doesn't interest me. It's somebody. I'll put it up if somebody puts up something that they like it. I don't see a lot of people jumping on the Outlander bandwagon there.
No one else cares. Sorry. No one likes Outlander.
Sorry.
All right, so, what are your TV?
So UFO, of course, is one of my.
UFO is a great one.
When I was laid up with my knee and I couldn't move out of my bed for a couple of 2-3 days. I watched UFO and Thunderbird, so I definitely hit my Jerry Anderson fix for that.
Jerry Anderson
quote, of course, Firefly is always one of my go-to shows that I'll always continually rewatch. all the time. But one of the other ones that's less known, I mentioned to you this earlier today, that I really loved as a kid, and I still love it. I have the DVD set. Is Tales of the Gold Monkey,
That
which
and
was
that is an
which was a result of right.
Is that Bruce Boxleitner?
No, that was the guy that was played Decker on the motion picture, Stephen Collins.
Oh,
So it had a really good cast because there was like because Robin McDowell was on that.
Monkey, yeah.
But it was basically it was a result of the popularity of Raiders of the Lost Ark. They were trying to fit that adventurer serial type thing where you have a guy that's kind of a pilot. He's a pilot. He was a flying tiger. This takes place in 1938, so it's just before the war.
Indiana Jonesy, wasn't it?
It was very Indiana Jones like. He flew. He the guy hit the mark for me. He flew the Grumman Goose, the seaplane, which was.
It was a big red
coolest for me, that thing, and he flew around. He was all in the course South Pacific, and he dealt different adventures with Nazis and idols and things like that. And it was actually a really good show, and it still gets like an 8 out of 10 on IMDb. So if you've never seen it, see if you can find it. I don't know. I know the DVDs are available. I don't know where else it's available as far as watching it, but I mean, it is from like 1980, I think it was, or something like that. It was pretty.
It's pretty early.
Pretty
I was young. Yeah.
Yeah, but I remember watching it on TV, and 1982 and 83 is when it aired. So, yeah, I liked it. So that's still kind of one of my definitely a guilty pleasure. So
I mentioned Moonlights. Now people are naming Forever Night, Shadow and Bone. Yeah, these are all good shows.
Shadow and Bone. That's the one I'm trying to think of. That's the one I was thinking of. That's new. You would like that if you liked Wheel of Time. I think you like Shadow and Bone actually better.
Really?
So.
To me, like Witcher and Game of Thrones set the standard. Game of Thrones set the standard.
Oh, it's Everything not as good as Witcher. It's not as good as Witcher.
Witcher's was the first season was fun. This third season was I was like, what is
I haven't even gotten through it because Liz isn't interested in it, so I only watch it when she's not around or something, so that I'll bore her.
Sorry, speaking of Time Tunnel's a good one. Martin says YouTube has Tales of the Golden Monkey. I might need to tonight in bed. I may be on YouTube watching a little Golden Monkey because it's been a hot minute.
I remember when they announced that they were going to come out on DVD, and I pre-ordered it. It's like the only time I've ever pre-ordered a DVD because I was like I wanted it so bad because I hadn't seen it since I was a kid. And it doesn't hold up. I mean, it's
it doesn't.
It's early 80s TV. For God's sake.
Sorry, guys, can you remind me what is the one that I'm thinking of at Boxleitner?
Babylon 5.
And what was the one? No, not.
Oh, you're thinking of the spy one?
It was right around the same time as Tales of the Gold Monkey. And I thought it had the same vibe, same kind of Indiana Jonesy vibe, but I might.
I don't know. I don't know about that.
And also, do you remember in the days of Simon and Simon? There was another Simon and Simon kind of copycat with people, and not Miami Vice, but people running around with their various vehicles. You know what is a guilty pleasure? Either Airwolf or Blue Thunder. Both guilty pleasures.
Well, Blue Thunder, the movie. I saw that in the theater and loved it. It was great. Of course, Roy Scheider is always.
Roy Scheider did fabulous in everything he did. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's, that
Riptide.
was. I didn't watch the TV show.
Bruce, thank you. I think it was Riptide. I'm thinking of Riptide. No, Riptide wasn't Boxleitner. Riptide was the other Simon and Simon-esque people running around in their vehicles on the water. That's what that was. Yeah. What was the one with Bruce Boxleitner? Oh, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
okay,
Kent's on the right track with something and Mrs. Somebody. Yeah.
That was Pierce Brosnan.
And the Scarecrow or something.
Yeah, Scarecrow and Mrs. King.
Scarecrow and Mrs. King. There you go.
Heart to Heart is
when
they met. It was murder.
Maybe that's what you were thinking of.
Bruce, it's scrolling by so fast. I can't read.
We don't want to. Bring him back alive.
Bruce wants to borrow DVDs from Rizzo. That's all I'm reading right now, Bruce.
I don't know if they'll play on them Canuck DVD players.
They won't play Canuck. All right, moving on. Any other TV guilty pleasures?
That was really all I had for TV, other than the standard. Yeah, I'll watch Star Trek, the original series, over and over.
You know what's a guilty pleasure for me on TV? V, the old V, the good V, not the new V.
The original one from the 80s.
The original, although I love Marina Baccarin in the new V. She was pretty awesome. But the original V, oh my God.
We all love that. I mean, the uniforms were pretty cool.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah.
Um,
And those glasses, they had
the
like these funky
glasses,
glasses.
yeah.
Yeah. And the bad guy, the bad chick was named Diana. And for one scene, they put some kind of sparkle hairspray shit in her hair, and she just sparkled like a whole head. And it was the 80s, so the hair was like out to here.
Big
right?
hair, a lot
And
of
it
big hair.
sparkled.
And then she ate the rat.
And then she ate the rat, yes, like this. And I was like, oh my God, I want sparkle hair. Like I wanted
lizards.
it so
They were lizards people.
Oh, they were lizards.
Let's face it. There's a lot of little TV shows. I mean, people. I mean, I love another one that I love that isn't around. And I think we briefly talked about it. Was in the '90s. Was Space Above and Beyond, which I really thought was a really good. We did it. We did it as one of the three stuff in the '90s that we didn't do a whole show on it.
We didn't do a whole show on it.
It was really a good series for a 1-season series. I thought it was. It was fairly well thought out. And the effects were decent for the time, even though they were really low quality CGI. But yeah, I mean, that's if you've never seen it, it's worth watching. I think it holds up for the most part.
Yeah. And I can't help but notice that most of except I've named a couple of modern shows, but most of us are naming shows from years ago because we are clearly in the comfort food side of the guilty pleasure.
Right. It's like going back to our childhood.
It's that nostalgia factor.
When TV shows and things like that had a bigger wow factor to us. Now I think we're quite jaded by the special effects and that we have today and the look, and we're not as quite as enamored with things as we once were as children. So we go back to the things when we remembered that did enamor us.
Yeah, Bruce. Exactly.
So for films that are not films that are not sci-fi, I had one of the ones I find is one of the funniest movies that I'll always watch when I flip is the Birdcage, which of course.
Oh God, that's a funny movie. Yeah,
it's hysterical. And if you've never seen it, it's Robin Williams and
what's that other one you keep telling me to watch? I need to write it down right now. You keep saying you need to watch this. It's so funny. Is it gambling? Are they gambling?
Let It Ride.
Let It Ride. Yeah, that's right.
with Richard Dreyfuss and Terry Garr. And what's his name there? The hot guy there, Buster Poindexter.
Oh, okay.
And I cannot recommend Let It Ride enough. I mean, I know people are going to be like, I try not to oversell because then people are like, oh, it's not as good.
But it is dated.
That movie is so quotable and so funny, and it's a feel-good movie. You will laugh and you will be happy at the end of it because it's like, I mean, it's good. Definitely put that on your list.
Absolutely.
Let It Ride. It was early 90s. Dreyfuss, of course, can't go wrong with Dreyfuss.
It is on.
Even has Meg Tilly in it. I'm trying to think. You'll recognize a bunch of people. The relationship he has, because he's the one, letting it ride his winnings, and the guy that runs the ticket, that's selling him the tickets for the betting. It had the relationship that they develop over the course of the movie is hysterical. Because it starts out kind of adversarial, and then of course he's like, you're the champ, man, because he keeps coming back and winning. And it's the guy from, remember the actor's name.
That's like Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, where by the end,
yeah, but it's not. They weren't that adversarial. But the funny thing is, like everybody, the whole racetrack is like behind this guy by the end of the movie. Like they're all just wanting him to win.
They'll just cheer
him winning. So it's like everybody's cheering him on, and it's kind of it's like kind of a feel good thing. And the guy that was, remember Nuns on the Run?
Yes.
And not Eric Idle, but the other guy. That's the guy that plays the ticket. Right?
I can't think of him. Yeah, I can't think of him.
Yeah. Anyway, he was in James Bond and in Ocean.
Okay, Bruce. Oklahoma. Dirty Rotten Scoundrels is, it's a good movie.
I have to pee. Go ahead.
Yeah, and then he just makes that face. Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea, always a good one. Some of my non-sci-fi ones.
So that's one I didn't see coming there, Jerry. Was Korg 70,000 BC.
Yeah. I already mentioned The Replacements. I'm going to mention the Rocky Horror Picture Show, one of my all-time favorites. That is quasi-sci-fi, I guess. But that right there is one of my number one guilty pleasures. I watch that thing every day.
Channeling Peter Griffin, Roadhouse.
Channeling Peter.
You ever see that episode? He's like kicking, he's round kicking everything in town. Roadhouse.
Bill says we all seem to like the same things. Yeah, great minds think alike.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's true. We all wouldn't be watching or doing this show if we didn't have
If
similar
we didn't,
interests,
yeah.
right?
Kent and I both are Rocky Horror fans. And then
I like Rocky Horror. I wouldn't call it my guilty pleasure. I mean, it's kind of one of those like.
Yeah, but it's not one that you're going to go back. You probably are not going to go back and watch it over and over again. So people, this is not my personal guilty pleasure, but you know what people talk
This is
about?
a good one.
They say they watch all the time. Oh, Tremors, that's a fantastic one.
Great,
yes, we did that on the show.
Yeah.
We love Tremors. But everyone talks about the Shawshank Redemption. Everyone's like, if that's on, I stop.
And that's true. And that's one of those movies. It's right up. It's the same thing with Hunt for Red October.
Yeah.
Shawshank is one.
Yeah,
Ocean's 11 is one. Whenever it's on, you stop and you watch it.
That is a great
Fifth
one.
Element. Yeah. Those are movies that we all stop, and if we stop flipping.
Yep. Robinson Crusoe on Mars. Yep.
So Robinson Crusoe on Mars, that's an old one.
Sci-fi, my sci-fi, like I tend to lean, like I like to look for like the lesser known stuff. Like I know everyone, so for UFOs and aliens and stuff, everyone knows Close Encounters. That's an awesome one. But there's this other lesser known one called Fire in the Sky that I love. It's really creepy and scary.
That one was really about abduction, and
that one was really about abduction.
Not a pleasant abduction.
No, not a good abduction. Bad abduction.
Yeah, that was rough.
Another
one. Well, another one that you talk about that's on my list for non-sci-fi that also I will stop and watch is Tombstone.
Oh, the one with the girls? No, wait, that was quick. That was the quick.
No, this is the one about Wyatt Earp, and it's got Val Kilmer as Doc Holliday.
Oh, yeah.
Kurt Russell plays Wyatt Earp, and it is one of my favorite westerns. I have basically like 3 top westerns that I really like. Silverado's up there. This one what was the other one? I can't remember off the top of my head now. But Tombstone I saw in the theater, and it's just Val Kilmer should at least got nominated for Academy Award for that film. In my opinion. Yeah, he was such a good.
Go back and look at that one again.
Yeah, he was such a good Doc Holliday.
Yeah. Alice is saying, has anyone seen Underwater? It's an homage to Aliens. I am so unfamiliar with that. I need to check that out.
No, I can't say I've seen that one.
A Fish Called Wanda. Oh my God.
Oh God, yes. That's another one. Watch it anytime.
Yep. If that's on, you watch it.
I wonder. Cascade Stars Hotel. Sing it.
All right. What are some of my other? So I like the stuff, the lesser, not mainstream stuff. Like, does anybody know Abraham Lincoln Vampire Slayer?
Yes, I've seen that. It actually was not a bad movie. I wouldn't call it something I would go back and rewatch, but it was entertaining enough while I watched it.
It was a weird little thing. But yeah, it was entertaining while you watched, as was, I thought, Cowboys and Aliens. Now, I don't think you've seen Cowboys and Aliens.
I have.
You have.
Yep.
We should do that on the show. So we should do both.
You brought that up several times. We can do it. There's
not much to it. That one's Daniel Craig, right?
Yeah, Daniel Craig. Yeah, it was a weird thing.
I just like things that are a little left to center. Just a little.
You know what it kind of had a stink of to me, and I don't know why, because it's not that related, but it was almost like gave me the feel of Battlefield Earth for some reason.
Cowboys and Aliens?
Yeah, which was horrible movie.
I didn't get that from that.
I don't know why. It wasn't like it was that. I don't know why
it
gave me that feel. I can't defend it.
I got to tell you, I've never seen Battlefield Earth, but from what little I know of it, and nor do I want to.
I actually wasted money and saw it in the theater.
Oh Lord,
it was horrible. It was horrible.
It was just a pitch meeting for Scientology, wasn't it?
It was basically, yeah. It was just bad, but it wasn't even if you took that out of it, like it was just a bad movie. It was not good.
I did not get that from those 2 movies, but maybe because I haven't seen Battlefield Earth.
I don't know. Like I said, I can't even defend my argument, so I'll just let it go. But it's just my weird vibe. So,
you know what movie I love that you don't like or I don't know you, but a lot of people don't like?
Jeff says Battlefield Earth is a non-guilty hate.
Yeah, non-guilty hate. Yeah. Oh, Safety Not Guaranteed. That is an excellent one, Bruce. But I was about to mention, what was I about to mention? Now I gotta go back to my list. Lost in Space. I love the movie Lost in Space. The movie, not the. I mean, I love
the series. Hurt one?
The new series is great, but that movie that had like Joey from
William Hurt
in it. Oh yeah, was it William Hurt?
William Hurt and Dr. Smith was
Gary Oldman.
Gary Oldman, which to me was the only bright spot of it. Well, that and what's her name?
I don't know why.
The one
There's
that played
line,
Judy.
Joey from Friends they're
Yeah,
all
so
in
that's
there
why I think I
trying.
had
He's
trouble
like,
with
and
that.
the monkey pushes the button.
Yeah, I mean,
I
he was
killed that whole thing.
okay, but I think the only really shining part of that, besides Heather Graham,
Heather Graham, that was
is
good. Boogie
really,
Nights. Oh my god,
Boogie Nights was on my list.
Boogie Nights is a good
But,
movie.
if you've never seen Boogie Nights, it's awesome.
If you haven't seen, go watch.
Yeah, so it was, but Gary Oldman's Dr. Smith was epic.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, it actually outshined.
I
Parker
liked the soundtrack, but you know why I liked the soundtrack is back then I was still teaching dance, and I always needed crap for my students to dance to, and they loved it. Right? They loved it, so they ate that up. But I like that one. That was a good one.
Yeah.
But since you mentioned Heather Graham, Boogie Nights.
Yeah, Boogie Nights. That's
for many
reasons. That is a really big cast too.
Yeah.
Of course, we have Mark Wahlberg in the lead. We have Burt Reynolds,
John C. Riley.
You have
Philip Seymour Hoffman before he passed.
Right.
Julianne Moore.
It was just
Burt Reynolds as the.
You guys don't know, it's about the 70s porn industry.
Yeah.
And there was actually a couple of actual, those that know, porn stars in there from that era.
Yes.
It was so funny, and it was just so well done, and
it's a great movie, and I'll tell you.
Great soundtrack if you like 70s disco.
Bruce is Almost Famous. Yes, Almost Famous was an excellent movie. Jeff is saying Twister. Yes. I will watch Twister anytime I find it on TV.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan. It was an okay movie.
I love Twister. I love the girlfriend.
We got cow. We have cow. I think it's the same cow.
And then they run into the barn with the knives. Who are these people?
Yeah, I mean, it had some merit.
It looks to hit Wakita. I love that movie.
Yeah.
Oh, Nope. Yeah, Nope I really enjoyed Nope, but that's a really new one. A lot of people haven't seen that yet.
No, I haven't seen that one either.
Forbidden Planet, absolutely.
Yes, Forbidden Planet is a classic and always remains so. Right, Alex? I made Alex watch. I made Alex watch that over the past weekend.
What'd you make her watch?
Forbidden Planet.
Ah, what'd you learn, Alex?
She said she liked it. She might be lying to me, but she said she liked it.
She's lying to you. She's just trying to make you feel better.
Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. So another one that I have that's obscure, that's totally not sci-fi, but I enjoy it immensely, is The Adventures of Priscilla, Queen of the Desert.
Ah, that's a fantastic one. Actually, you know what else is good? Tu Wong Fu, if you haven't seen that one.
I think Priscilla's way better.
You know, I waffle back and forth. They both have their high points, but I like Tu Wong Fu. I like watching Patrick Swayze punching out the bad guy in full regalia. I just love it. In drag, yeah.
I don't know. There's just so many good. I mean, to see Terrence Stamp, aka General Zod, in drag.
Yeah, in drag.
It's kind of surreal. And Elron for that matter.
Yeah, that's true too. That's true too. That was Elron.
Yeah, Agent Smith in drag. from the Matrix. It's
he goes to get his son.
It's such a good movie, and it's so much fun.
And it says good things. Like it has a nice little message. Although so does Tu Wong Fu. You know.
Yeah. So that was definitely one of my guilty. I have the soundtrack for it, I'll admit, because it has such a. You know who did a great parody? If you guys remember the Drew Carey show. Every once in a while they would do a musical, not necessarily an episode, but they would do a musical open.
That's right. Close. Didn't they do a Tu Wong Fu?
They did, but it was Priscilla, because you know how like everybody goes sees Rocky Horror, they dress up, they go to the theater. So
it was Tu Wong Fu versus Rocky Horror.
Can I finish, woman?
I'm trying to guess what you're gonna say. I get excited. I'm sorry.
They're all going him and his friends are going to Rocky Horror. They're all dressed up to do Rocky Horror. They get there. The movie theater has switched over to Priscilla doing a midnight show. And it's all like, remember that little heavy blonde one that used to work, the one that Mimi or something.
Yeah.
She and her friends are all dressed up in Priscilla, and they do this battle between Time Warp and Priscilla,
like
one of the songs of Priscilla. And they're doing this dance in the street back and forth. It's like this battle back and forth. It was epic. And I don't know if it's on YouTube, somebody's got to find it.
Star Trek.
That was one of the best moments for me in television, was watching
Strange New Worlds. Take notes. That's how you do a musical
That's how you
episode.
do it. Yep, that is
Yeah,
Drew
absolutely.
Carey. The way Drew Carey did musical was the way you need to do musicals.
Yeah.
So take note.
Martin is saying Death on the Nile. Death on the Nile or Murder on the Orient Express. Any of the Agatha Christie ones.
Yes, Bill Sotak, Young Frankenstein. I was going to
Oh
mention
God,
that.
yes, Young
This
Frankenstein.
is
We did
probably
that. That
one
was
of
one of the
my
first ones we
favorite
did.
movies of all time. First of all,
Yeah.
and I can quote that movie, front to back. So, and along with this, not along with it, but a kind of and for me, along with it, a lot of them is Ferris Bueller's.
Ferris Bueller
is one of those ones that's I find ultimately rewatchable and ultimately quotable.
Yes.
Jeff, I also had The Rocketeer on my list. The Rocketeer and The Phantom both kind of fall into the same.
Yeah.
Both fall. That's definitely a guilty pleasure because I know that's not the most popular movie, but to me it was such a good movie because it had all my elements again. You had flying and vintage aircraft and Nazis.
We did that. We did that one on the show.
We did do that, right? Chris, I think Chris LaRoche came on. Yeah,
really
Chris LaRoche now has the jacket.
Yes,
he had that post. So
yes.
So so some good stuff. Yeah, the Rocketeer.
Monty Python. You know what? Any Monty Python, TV or movies.
Yes. Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition. Fear, and surprise. Yeah, Monty Python Holy Grail, of course, has. You're right, Martin. That's another good one. Lots of good quotables in there. There's clearly we have a lot of good.
Oh yeah, Jeff Rubel. I'm going to give you a point for The Nanny, and the reason why is because it has Daniel Davis in it, who played Moriarty on Star Trek. But Daniel Davis as Niles the butler putting down Cece, like YouTube has compilations of him insulting her, just insult after insult, and they are hilarious. It is the funniest thing. So yes, The Nanny, very well written. That writing staff was awesome.
I mean, if you're sticking to with Mel Brooks, History of the World and Blazing
Saddles, History of the World. Yeah.
And Blazing Saddles for that.
And there was much rejoicing. Yes, Kent.
So there's a lot of I'll tell you, we could go on and on and on.
We could do this for 2 hours. So many good movies. Too much to watch.
They keep popping into my head. I think I've gone through my list.
Yeah, I've gone through my list too.
Yeah, I mean, I think I said that.
Vox Machina, Jericho and Evolution. Those are TV. Oh, I already mentioned Tim Burton's first Batman when I did the Batman news segment. Oh, you know what, kids, I like that you guys probably don't like. So this is a true guilty pleasure. I like movies like Legend or Labyrinth. Do you remember those fantasy movies? Legend had Tom Cruise and
it was actually Tim Curry and Mia Sara.
Yeah, and Tim Curry and Mia Sara. And then Labyrinth had David Bowie and Jennifer Connelly.
Yeah.
I love those movies.
I've actually never seen Labyrinth. I've seen Legend.
Legends and I don't know why I mentally linked them. I mentally put them together. They're very different movies, but in my brain they're forever linked.
Alex, if it's a guilty pleasure for you, it's a guilty pleasure. There's no criteria how new it is. So I haven't actually seen the most recent Batman.
Yes, Chris. Huh?
I haven't seen the most recent Batman.
Oh, you haven't?
No.
Oh, it's moody and broody and slow, and there's a lot. He walks very slowly. There's a lot of walking. Like the bad guys are doing stuff. They're spray painting the wall, and Batman's very slowly.
But does he go, "I'm Batman"?
I don't think he does. Yes,
I'm a Christian Bale Batman fan, and Keaton.
I'm a Keaton. I just watched The Flash. I finally saw The Flash.
Keaton and Bale are my favorites. And then, of course, really the Batman I like the most, with the exception of the 60s.
Alex, wait. Who?
Well, I was going to say, the real Batman I like the most, with the exception of Adam West, is the Arkham video game version of Batman. That's my favorite Batman.
Kevin Conroy?
It was the same guy that voiced the cartoon.
It was Kevin Conroy.
Yeah. But I mean, Alex, just the whole iteration, the look of the city, all that.
Yeah. You know what? You're right. They did nail it. They nailed the look. Alex, if you like Robert Pattinson, how do you feel about Twilight stuff? That could be a guilty pleasure. I'm sure it is for a lot of girls out there.
Logan's Run. Logan's Run was a great movie. We need to do Logan's Run. I know that's in. I don't know if did Roy ever do it?
We used to respect Roy. Roy used to get 50s, 60s, 70s, and we had 80s, 90s, and 2000s,
Right.
and we respected that line. But Roy lately has crossed the line.
He's been crossing.
So I think we should cross back.
Well, I mean, did he do Logan's Run? I don't remember.
Yes,
Maybe you guys that watch him. Yeah, we should do Logan's Run because that's a good one. That is an excellent movie. I think it's an excellent movie.
The Batusi. We're gonna do the Batusi.
Jeff, the final countdown. Yeah, we mentioned that earlier.
Yes, Alex, we will. Yeah, we mentioned the final countdown that we did it on these shows. Yeah, so many good movies, like too many good movies. Whatever you love to watch, then that is.
Yeah, I mean, there's no wrong old school.
I even love the most recent Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh my God, old school! Come on, that is like one of the best comedies of the 2000s. Blue. You ever see?
Kent wants to do Logan's Run with us.
So, yeah, Old School is another. That's a great comedy one. That and what was our other one that we liked? That we keep talking about? Dodgeball.
Dodgeball.
The Ocho.
My own blood.
ESPN 8, The Ocho. Which we can do
the replacements in Dodgeball together one night as a comedy night if we're doing a comedy night.
Yeah, Dodgeball is. I don't know. Dodgeball should get its own night.
I mean, maybe it should. Dodgeball is a classic.
It's got Rip Torn in it.
She's got a cannon.
Yeah.
You can dodge a wrench. You can dodge a ball. I'm here throwing him at what is his name? That actor.
Rip Torn.
No, not Rip Torn. The actor he's throwing him at.
Oh, that's he's been in tons of stuff. Well, there's a bunch of them. They all were dodging the wrenches.
He's in Galaxy Quest.
Yes. Yeah, they're all dodging the wrenches in that one.
I love Dodgeball so much.
It is really a good movie.
We need to do it. We haven't done a comedy night.
It is timeless. It's timeless like Old School. Old School is classic to me. It's funny.
Well,
I can't believe it's like 2003 or one or something. I can't believe that movie's as old as 20 years old now.
It is.
It's so funny. It's so funny.
We have 2 weeks left in September. Do you guys want to finish September on a comedy note before we dive into Halloween for October? That'd be a thought.
I agree, Doctor Who, especially old Doctor Who, Martin.
Tom Baker. If you're going to say Tom
Doctor Who,
I'm with you.
Key to Time, stuff like that. Yeah. I'll give you that one. That's a good one. Yeah.
Bye, Martin.
Bye, Martin. Yeah, we're almost at the end of the hour anyway. Geez, yeah, we could do something. I don't know. You know me. I still want to do. I haven't worked on it yet because I've been busy, but we're gonna do the trivia night somehow. I don't know how.
We'll make a squeeze.
We're gonna do quotables. Yeah, we're gonna do Jeopardy quotes.
We can do Jeopardy quotables. Yeah. We can do that at the top of October. We can do it at the end of. We can do comedy next week, and then the Jeopardy the 27th, and then dive into Halloween.
Comedy. We tried that once. We won't have Phil on because he didn't like the movie we picked.
No, he didn't like the movie. But if it's just you and me doing dodgeball, we'll just quote the movie to each other the entire time.
Super Troopers for that matter.
Oh, Super Troopers!
We didn't even mention Super Troopers.
That's a guilty pleasure.
How did we not mention Super
Troopers?
That is definitely between you and me. That's definitely our guilty pleasure because we definitely
Ursula, I'm naked. I can't hang you.
Let's go with the next man that says
the fancy.
Hey, Barbara. What's that restaurant you like with the cheese sticks and the goofy shit on the wall?
Shenanigans? Here's the gun. I'm going to pistol whip the next guy that says shenanigans.
That's so funny. I don't know why. I still laugh at that every time.
It's the best. It is the best.
The second one's not even bad.
No, it's not. We might.
I'm still waiting on my my butter tart Yule log.
I'm sorry. I
was in Canada last week and I still didn't get a butter tart.
You didn't even get a butter. No. Never mind Yule log. Did you at least get a butter tart?
No.
Canada. Oh, Canada.
Yeah. The closest I got was Tim Hortons.
Mandatory, like you go to Tim Hortons, you get a double and a.
I drink my coffee black, so no double.
A double and a butter tart.
See, Alex, I didn't know that was an option at Tim Hortons.
Where do you fall in the butter tart controversy? Are you a runny girl or a solid girl?
It just sounds wrong. No, we're not talking about your cat's bowel movements.
I'm on the runny side, but I always overbake them and they end up solid. So
I end up solid. Oh, Bruce would have bought me a
Bruce,
butter
if you're
tart. All right,
coming
well,
for if you're coming for Shanna, bring us all butter tarts because
yeah, I'm saying,
no raisins.
Oh, Liz says the Andromeda Strain. That's a good one.
Well, that's a good one.
Yep.
Oh yeah, Jeff says The Mummy with Brandon Fraser. Yeah, we did that on the show. That's a really good one.
Yeah, that is a good movie.
She's bringing butter tarts, but she won't comment on whether they're running or solid. No reasons. No
well, Jesus. All right. See, I got 2 Canadians willing to bring them. Now, Dennis would never.
Butter tart time.
How many times did I ask Dennis to bring me butter tarts? Never.
I'll make my version too. We can compare and contrast.
All right.
Except mine are all thick crust and no insides.
Well, you're not Canadian, so it's.
I'm not Canadian, so I do it wrong.
You know, you do it wrong.
You do it wrong.
So.
Don't eat. You're driving together. Don't eat the butter tarts in the car.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's what Dennis always said. They would never make it across the border. He'd eat them before he got a chance to bring them. They'd get.
Now, Alex, can you make a butter tart Yule log for Rizzo? Because he's been asking for this for like. How long have we been doing this show? 3 years.
Since Super Troopers 2 aired.
Since Super Troopers 2 aired, he's wanted a butter tart Yule log.
I want a butter tart Yule log, yeah.
And a liter of cola.
And a liter of cola.
Litera? I don't think we have litera.
We don't have liters. What's a liter?
Liter of cola.
All right.
Okay, Phil. I don't know what Roy's doing. Roy hasn't told me.
I think he's doing. Is he still doing the
He might be doing Space 1999.
I thought he was doing a thing on the Breakaway. Eagle has landed.
I think he already did that.
You did that?
Hang on, let me tell you. He already did. So he may still be doing more Space 1999 stuff. And hang on one moment, and I will tell you what Phil's doing because he told me. And did I write it down? No. For Phil, by the way, his guilty pleasure is Space 1999 episode Ring Around the Moon. He'll do Bill McNulty's show tomorrow at noon, and then he's off this week thanks to the student takeover. So, and if anyone's out in West Coxsackie, he's doing like a yard sale or something. So go buy more of his junk. Go buy more of his Eagles and his other memorabilia.
I still owe money from the last time.
You still owe him money?
Yeah.
You pay the boy.
I had a credit. No, he was the one telling me, "Don't worry about it. Pay me when you can." Whatever. You don't need to know about it. I'll pay him, or he'll get his money.
All right, kids.
I already gave him some of it.
You guys all have great choices for your guilty pleasures. I really enjoyed hearing everyone's.
Yeah, it was good. I knew this was going to be a quick hour.
Yes,
Office Space is a good one.
Scene where they're beating on the printer.
So gonna I had a piece of equipment at work
that
I was going to recreate that scene with the piece of equipment at work so I could destroy it.
Office Space is another quotable one.
All right, guys. So it's after 8. I don't want to keep you all from whatever you're going to do.
We don't know what we're doing next week.
We don't know what we're doing next week. Well, y'all figure it out.
I want to do a comedy night, but hey.
We could do comedy night. We have to figure out. I think just one, though. I don't know if we want to
Dodgeball. Let's do dodgeball.
Dodgeball. I don't know. What do you guys think? Dodgeball?
You guys want to do a little dodgeball?
Dodgeball.
If you can dodge a wrench. Dip, duck, dive, dodge, and wait. Dodge, dip, duck,
dodge
dive,
twice.
Dodge.
Dodges twice. Yeah. So you can dodge it. ESPN 8, the Ocho. Hey, it's become part of our
what we call Super 8, the Ocho.
We call it Super 8 now. It's just the Ocho.
Kent says yes, dodgeball. Bill says yeah, let's play dodgeball.
All right, dodgeball it is.
Do a little dodgeball next week. All
right, it has Shatner in it, so does that count as?
And it has Shatner in it,
so that Shatner in it. Does that count as sci-fi? All right, guys. We'll see you next week with that. And in the meantime, live long and prosper. I got to do, I don't know. You got it. Anyway, we'll see ya. Good night.